Hello everyone and welcome to this English version of the Ochre season, now starting on Ankama Live. Hello everyone, welcome to Full Thing. I'm DeWitt, I'll be your host tonight, but I have also two guests coming with me. Hello everyone, show me on the camera. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you need a microphone.
Oh yeah, you need a microphone.
Nobody's gonna hear you if you don't have a microphone. So hello, present yourself. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Sharon. I'm a WAKFU developer here at Ankama for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked on a lot of UI. You may know me from the encyclopedia on WAKFU or the marketplace.
Nice. Nicely done.
Okay.
and then we have Sue.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Sue. I'm the guy who works at Ankama Live as the Ankama Live management. And as you can see, I'm already tweaking some stuff like
Yes.
changing colors and changing lights because I'm not so very well seen.
Like usually you don't see Sue like on front of the camera. Usually he's in the back, like doing all the technical stuff, and now he's doing both at once. So apologies in advance if there's like some slight technical issue during the stream.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm gonna walk to my to my computer and like tweak some stuffs because this doesn't work just like I want it, so I'm gonna do something
Right,
else.
so
Maybe sometimes there's gonna be like issues, like camera issues or sound issues. If so, please
We
forgive me.
apologize in advance.
I'm just one
we
human.
apologize in advance. So this is going to be a bit of a chill stream. We just want here to introduce all the things that happened to the Ochre season. But first of all, in order to start the Ochre season, we need to finish the not purple. Crimson, thank you. The Crimson season. The Crimson season was the previous one, and there's only one thing that is left. Is to decide who were the winners of the great raffle. So let's check that in video form.
Une config de PC unique aux couleurs d'Ankama, c'est le cadeau à remporter avec le tirage de la grosse fortune de la saison pourpre qui vient tout juste de se terminer. Plus vous participiez aux activités de la saison, et plus vous obteniez des jetons pourpres et de tickets. Et bien sûr, vous aviez plus de chances d'obtenir ce beau cadeau. Et il est temps de lancer le tirage au sort et de découvrir nos grands gagnants. C'est parti! Bravo à tous nos gagnants. Et ce n'est pas fini. L'anniversaire d'Ankama continue toute l'année et dès à présent avec la saison Ocre qui vient de se lancer. Toujours avec un tirage de la grosse fortune qui est incroyable. Tente d'avoir ton propre personnage dans le manga WAKFU La Grande Vague, illustré par Cynthia Lemans et scénarisé par Tot. Que la saison Ocre commence.
There we go. Congratulations to all the winners of the Great Fortune. Now we start in the new season. You might probably know the gist by now with this. We have 2 months. This one are dedicated to like legacy and memories and remembrance of what happened in the past. This is the Ochre season, but also it comes with a number of Ochre tokens that you can win using or different. I'm sorry, I cannot English today. I will make this true.
It's okay.
You can earn tokens by doing different activities in all different games. You would probably know how the token works, but by now we still are going to give you a quick summary in video form.
Tu veux avoir ton propre personnage dans le manga WAKFU La Grande Vague? Tente ta chance avec la saison Ocre qui se lance pour les 25 ans d'Ankama. Cette saison, tout est basé sur les souvenirs, l'héritage et un peu de nostalgie. Comment ça se passe? C'est simple. Tu participes aux quêtes en jeu, à nos événements physiques et à nos animations communautaires pour gagner des jetons Ocre. Avec tes jetons, tu fais tourner la roue. Chaque jeton, c'est une chance de gagner un cadeau commun, rare, épique ou légendaire. Et là où ça devient fou, tous les 5 jetons Ocre, tu obtiens un ticket de la grosse fortune. Chaque ticket te donne une chance de remporter le cadeau mythique de la saison, avoir ton propre personnage dans le manga WAKFU La Grande Vague, dessiné par Cynthia Lemans et scénarisé par Tot. Et si tu passais par Japan Expo, des 30 € d'achat chez Ankama Shop, tu remportais un jeton premium. Et lui, il te garantit un tirage légendaire à tous les coups. Alors, prêt pour cette saison sous le signe de la nostalgie?
And yes, this is like quite the gift. I want to ask that is to add that is actually something that wasn't said in the video. In addition to having your character put into the WAKFU The Great Wave manga, you will also receive a full collection of the DOFUS manga and the Radiant manga. The thing is, it is a great prize. Here's the thing: we know that all of our communities don't always speak French. Yeah. And both the DOFUS manga and the Radiant one are in French. So in case one of the winners of the big raffle will be someone from one of the international community, you will receive the equivalent sum as an Allskreen lump sum. So,
Okay.
you will get that in addition to having your character for WAKFU and Great Wave, which is accessible to absolutely every language. So yes, we're going to go around to discuss how you may win your Ochre tokens for this season. I just would like to point to you out that you are already winning an Ochre token, as in there's a Twitch drops that have been activated. So if you watch this stream for half an hour, for 30 minutes, you will receive an Ochre token. So stay tuned and listen to us talk about all the good stuff that's coming in.
I want to add that I just forget to put down this right here, as you can see. So there's an Ochre token for you.
Well, I guess
if you want.
You know what? Double gift.
Yeah. Just
if you enter this one, season Ochre, the code. If you enter this on the thank you for pointing it out. If you enter season Ochre on the usual gift interface, you will receive another token. So that's 2 tokens, one now and one in a half an hour. Because we're just generous like that, and sometimes we forget to remove stuff from screens.
yeah, we're generous. No, sorry, we'll say that we're just generous like that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The code was given during the French version of the stream, so just go ahead and get the token. So the code is Season Ochre, as is written on the top right corner of the screen, and then you have the drop that's coming in. All right, so I guess now, because the Ochre season is all about legacy, memories, remembrance of the past, and therefore this is the theme that was used for the various games, for the different quests that were put in order for you to win more Ochre tokens. So we're going to have a quick run around about the different games. What are you doing and how do you earn them? I think we should start with Sharon, since it's the first one. For WAKFU then.
Yeah, so in WAKFU, you may explore the old Sophokia nation once again. The big, great nation that was removed a few years ago now. So you can explore it for the sake of nostalgia. You can unearth treasure, and you can go to the Celestial Dungeon to fight the Celestial Gobble once again.
Nice.
In all its glory.
Those are some like old contents, and some people were very nostalgic about.
Yes, too old for me even. I did not even
Oh,
play.
wow. That was before your time.
Yes, exactly.
So nostalgic, you weren't even born.
For some, this is true.
The point is you do this in game and then it fills a gauge.
Yeah, so in WAKFU, in the achievements UI, there's a section especially for each season.
Mhm.
And so there's 10 achievements and you can complete them in any order, I think.
Mhm.
And there's a threshold, one when you earn 3 of them, which rewards you with 1 token. Once you have earned 5 of them, that give another token and a 20% XP, a 20% XP bonus for the whole season.
Nice.
And finally, at 8 achievements complete, you get the final token and biome for the new features that was released in WAKFU in 1.92.
Yes.
The Haven Paddock. So you can earn a biome that is not yet available, but that will be in a future update.
In the future. Earn now, you'll get it later.
Yes, desert themed.
Oh, desert. Wow.
I think, yes.
Love it. The Haven Paddock is like the favorite thing that WAKFU has done. Like
It's quite nice.
Honestly, I want to pick up the game back up just for that. Like I don't care about fighting. I just want to have like my own thing.
Yeah, both the Heaven Paddocks and the Heaven Bags.
Heaven Bags,
both on WAKFU are just incredible. I just want to do some stuff on WAKFU just to have those and to have the biggest Heaven Bag possible and have my all personalized Heaven Bag with all kinds of shiny stuffs. And of course, Heaven Paddocks that are really incredible too.
Yes,
I love it.
It was quite a lot of work to do and to create a whole new system. But now that it's here, it's quite popular. I think it reached a lot of players, and
I'm glad.
It's really cool to see what people have done. There was a contest to create a paddock, and there was like 300 entries, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
It was really cool to see what everyone did.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
People are a lot more creative than me when I do my paddock.
You said that it was a lot of work. Do you know how much time you've worked on this feature?
The first feature we started like there's a pre-production
Yeah.
last year, but the first features that were developed were in January, and
Okay.
the release went in June. So
Wow.
it was quite a lot
Okay.
of
6 months of work. Wow.
Yeah, WAKFU
Yeah.
was not designed for like placing buildings interactively. There's the Haven World, but the editor is quite old and quite has some defects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad. So, as you say, just complete this nostalgic quest on WAKFU, and then you get your own deserts for your Heaven Paddock. Which that's all I need. Just do this. All right. Should we talk about
Yeah,
DOFUS?
we should talk about DOFUS. So on DOFUS, it's DOFUS in English. I know it's DOFUS, or it's not DOFUS
I don't know.
in English because we know in French it's DOFUS, but
It's DOFUS.
sorry, it's DOFUS for
DOFUS.
some people in
In
French.
DOFUS, you have
But
new
it's-
quests.
But it's really DOFUS, and in English it's DOFUS,
I think it's DOFUS, yeah.
I guess.
DOFUS? DOFUS.
DOFUS.
DOFUS. DOFUS.
In
Okay.
English.
So we
All
can
right.
say DOFUS. Okay.
Okay, let's say DOFUS. And DOFUS in the Ochre season, I know that there's the 3.6 release that was released just a few weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, yes.
Yeah, with the guild reds, and you can obtain some gifts by doing guild raids and doing events, guild missions. So all you have to do is be in a guild with other people and just do guild missions, and you'll receive some gifts.
All right. It's the DOFUS system is like you fill a gauge with a MOVE mission, and then you unlock at a different threshold. You unlock. There's 3 Ochre tokens that you can win on DOFUS this way. So guild focus, especially for DOFUS.
Guild focus, yeah, with ancient treasures. There's some activities linked to temporal anomalies, but I'm not quite sure about that. So please go check the news,
Yes.
and you'll have all the informations you need to get your Ochre tokens. Note that if you do the whole Ochre season thing, you can get an alteration that gives you 1 AP, which is turbo broken.
I'm sorry.
Really broken. You get an alteration that gets 1 AP for your character, and it's an alteration. So it's activated at the start of combats, at the start of fights. So it won't be an issue for your equipments. If you have an equipment that gives you already 12 AP, well, you'll receive a 13 one.
Wow. Just literally breaking all the rules.
Yeah. Yeah. This one is pretty cool.
All right. Well, I'll have a quick look. I'm checking my notes about DOFUS Touch. DOFUS Touch is, of course, also based on this. It's the same system as about, like, you do there's certain events and certain quests that will unlock Ochre tokens at different intervals. What I have noted is that there are some bosses which were no longer available in the game, which will come back exactly for this season. So it's in the secret laboratory of Abagnus Castle, and you can fight the Bull Big Brother, the Master Pandora, and the Daguerreau, which were 3 bosses that were no longer available. You can defeat them. And that's part of the different quests that you have to do to earn your token. Of course, there's also like the Legend of the Ochre Dofus, which is the narrative quest that happens for every season, and you have more and everything. Go in game. The entire thing looks fun. It looks like content for the entire summer, which is why I can't. You have to remember something, that we have this Ochre season for DOFUS Touch. But one thing that's also very important is the 10th year anniversary of DOFUS Touch.
Congratulations to DOFUS
So
Touch.
there's a couple things for the Ochre season, but there's a bunch more for the anniversary. Like, I think every week you have something different to play with until the end of August. That's for sure. So,
there's even Twitch drops every week on the DOFUS Touch category for the next 2 months.
I've seen. I remember seeing the news. There's dungeon rushers that reopen, like a very specific thing. It's not just the Ochre season, it's just the entire summer is going to be the summer of DOFUS Touch. So please, if you have a tablet and you have free time, which I hope you have, it's summer, you should have free time, Go play DOFUS Touch. This is the most important.
For DOFUS Retro?
Yeah, DOFUS Retro.
For DOFUS Retro, we have some other stuff to do. It's linked to the Ochre quests. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a quest on DOFUS Retro too. So the harvest, the big harvest, all you have to do is fight some arc monsters. Mm-hmm. If you fight some arc monsters, you will receive some points in your gauge. There's also some fights that Otomai on his island will give you some fights to do, and it will also fill up your gauge, and then you will receive your tokens.
I think the spawn rates for arch monsters have been increased a lot, so you will see arch monsters a lot more.
Times 3, I guess.
Than,
I believe times 3, yeah.
I think he said times 3 or times 4, something like this.
Something like this.
So yeah, you will see arch monsters everywhere, and then there's going to be some arch monsters on Otomai's island. So don't miss this.
Yeah.
And then just one more for the Ochre token specifically. It's on Allskreen. So Allskreen, you will receive Ochre token for reading the Dedal. I think it's called the Dedal in English as well. I hope so.
I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know. Do you know, guys, how the Dedal...
okay, you know the big feature that has been released recently? Like the biggest maze, which is like a whole roguelike? This one. There's a webtoon based on it that tells you more about the story. And if you read these webtoons for free, I might add for free, you'll receive Ochre tokens. So episode 0 doesn't count, but please read it. If you read episode 1 to the end, you get the token. Episode 2 to the end, you get a second token. And then starting next week, starting on the 22nd of July, the third episode will also be unlocked. Read it to the end, third Ochre token. So,
Note that you don't need to comment because you have the possibility to comment the webtoon each episode you can to receive your token. But please do. Please just send Luc for every episode because it's way too funny. I know that for the first seasons, people was just writing Luc at the end of every episode because they thought that it was that what they
was necessary to get a token.
And
you don't. I promise.
You don't need to.
Just read it.
The Allskreen team reads all the comments, and they were like, "There's like 1,000 Luc on every episode, and it's way too funny. So please continue.
Please do not. Okay, but in any case, so you have 3 episodes to read for free on Allskreen and on the Ankama launcher. It's already available for episode 1 and 2. Episode 3 will be unlocked next week. I will also give a small shout out to Ankama Shop because I love them very much. Yeah. You got used to every season we release a certain amount of items that are linked to the season. So first of all, there's the Ochre selection that is currently available on Ankama Shop, which is a selection of yellow items, very basically. That's a very section of big yellow items. Some of them we've given them with a sale, so you're already that. Then you have both the medallion and the earring that looks like the Ochre Dofus. There's the new keychain with dragon that is also available. And as you may have seen on the table, there is the Ochre Dofus Tsume resin statue, which is not available currently, but will be put for pre-order at the start of August. And then this is a pre-order for next year, for 2027, because as always, all these Tsume Dofus are, this is a pre-order because we need to give them to our Kickstarter backers before we can release. Actually, just give me a second. Look at that.
This is
the Ochre token. There's
so cute.
There's a little tofu inside.
Yeah.
That's heavy, actually, by the way.
That's quite heavy, yeah.
So yeah, this one is not available right now, but it will be at the start of August. And also, we'll come back then just in a second. There was the Ankama convention at Japan Expo that took place last week. We'll just go right away. There was a ton of products from Ankama Shop that were proved dead as a feature, including this plush that you can see here. This is the Cosmos Dragonette. I think that's the name, Dragonets.
Christmas Dragoon to me.
Dragoon, it's Dragoon? Okay. Especially for the 25th anniversary, so these special colors. There's also like the 25th anniversary like item cards with like several items in game. And basically, almost everything that was available during the anniversary convention will come back to Ankama Shop. I think it's during the month of August, but like mostly it will be spread around. In fact, this one as well here, which was like a celebration 25th anniversary T-shirt, only exists in one size. Unfortunately, I think we still have some of them because since we haven't sold all of them at Ankama Convention, they will be available on the shop.
Do international shipping works?
International ships, absolutely. Some countries we cannot send them for various reasons. Just check Ankama Shop. There is a list about. At the bottom of the page, you will see information about shipping. But yes, absolutely, we ship outside of France, outside of Europe as well. You will be able to get, which includes stuff like, the Season 4 vinyl with Season 4 OST vinyl.
Be careful with that because I believe the disc can fall quite easily. But okay.
That's okay. It's okay.
Okay. All right. This is way too beautiful. This is way too
great.
Cool.
So pink.
And the color is just like stasis purple. So yeah, this will be available. There's also the plushie I will give you in a second, like the Oropo Medieval plushie. Well, there's going to be so many stuff on Ankama Shop, so please keep an eye out. We always release like at the start of every month, there's always like a schedule of all the things we're going to release during the month.
Yeah, there's also the Nous Sommes des Héros collaboration for some earrings and some pendants with the Ochre Dofus. There's also the keychain Ochre Dofus. We have some visuals for that, but I'm way too far from my computer to show you. And yeah, there's this
Oropo. Also, there's hello. This is the Miniable collection. It's like mini for small and ignoble for ignoble. So like it's a collection of villains as a tofu. So this is the fourth one releasing. It will also come in the form of a pin, which is a big pin of Oropo and a small pin of Echo, which is adorable.
Right there, I believe.
Yeah, they're there, but I don't think we'll see them on screen. They're a bit too small, I'm afraid.
Oh, it's okay. Well, okay, it's far.
Zoom, enhance.
Zoom in. I'm not gonna do that.
All right. Anyway, just to say that, so we continue the different collection we've started on Ankama Shop, and we will release more as the months come by. Anyway, Japan Expo.
Yeah,
that was big.
That was more than 4,000 meters.
Yeah, square meters of
square meters. Yeah. Yeah, 4,000 meters. Just 4,000 meters.
4,000 meters.
One direction.
It's just one line. 4 kilometers long.
Yeah, 4,000 meters square meter of Japanese, but it's so amazing.
It was huge. It was huge. There was like a booth for every games. There were activities for every game. There was a ton of goodies give up for free. There were items. There were all kind of stuff. Were you there?
No.
Oh, you weren't. Oh,
no.
Well, neither was I. I was here at work, like forwarding all the picture I was getting. But you were there.
Yeah.
And that was quite the experience. But also, Japan Expo was the siege of quite the important announcement. So important, in fact, that we will leave the people explaining to do in video with subtitles the big one.
Vous le savez, Ankama, c'est le transmédia, c'est la force qui unit tous nos projets. Et cette année, on a voulu aller encore plus loin et vous proposer une nouveauté qui va vous ravir en fin d'année.
Alors la source, c'est le berceau de la vie qui prédate même l'arrivée des Douziens, enfin même des Diziens à l'époque, dans le Cosmos.
C'est un lieu mythique. C'est là où ont été entreposés les œufs des dragons primordiaux.
C'est dans la source qu'est contenue l'énergie résiduelle des Dofus, leur énergie qui a donné vie au monde.
Et dans cette source, des étranges créatures sont entrées en contact avec les coquilles des Dofus.
C'est Toth lui-même qui nous a présenté les grandes lignes directrices et créatives. Et ensuite, sur chaque projet, on a pu travailler des propositions et rebondir avec Todd pour trouver la meilleure formule qui s'adaptait à la fois à ses intentions initiales et à la fois aux contraintes techniques de chaque projet.
On s'est beaucoup référé aux premières civilisations de l'humanité, la Mésopotamie essentiellement, puisque c'était un peu la première grande civilisation organisée qu'on connaît, mais aussi tout ce qui s'est passé un peu ailleurs, l'Égypte, les Aztèques, etc. Ce qui en plus collait bien avec la notion de source primordiale, de berceau de la vie, de vieilles fresques antiques qu'on va pouvoir explorer pour découvrir l'histoire de ce peuple.
On a beaucoup discuté entre game designers, animateurs, artistes, développeurs, chefs de projet pour imaginer quelle serait la prochaine classe que nous mettrons entre vos mains.
Depuis notre réveil, la magie des Dofus imprègne notre chair. Au commencement, les 6 dragons primordiaux abandonnèrent leur enveloppe originelle au cœur de la source, berceau de la vie. Nous grandissons dans ces eaux sacrées. 6 Dofus, 6 lignées. Lorsque nous quittons enfin la source, une entité draconique s'unit à chacune d'entre nous. Ainsi naît notre peuple, les Bellaphones.
Une nouvelle classe, c'est toujours un moment passionnant pour une équipe de développement d'un jeu. Quand on a su qu'on avait l'opportunité de travailler sur une nouvelle classe, et particulièrement sur la Bellaphone avec toute cette connexion dragons primordiaux, on a pris énormément de plaisir à imaginer ce qu'elle pouvait faire, à quoi elle allait ressembler, comment les joueurs allaient se l'approprier.
On est sur chaque jeu à des périodes différentes, avec des communautés différentes et des équilibrages différents. On doit parfois faire preuve d'inventivité pour s'assurer de la cohérence de l'arrivée d'une nouvelle classe, comme si elle avait toujours été là.
C'est intéressant pour Dofus Touch puisque depuis les 10 ans d'existence du projet, c'est la première fois en fait qu'on va créer une nouvelle classe. Donc il y a effectivement beaucoup de questions à se poser. En premier lieu, il faut d'abord qu'on interagisse avec les différentes équipes, histoire d'avoir un socle commun. Ensuite, c'est la réflexion de qu'est-ce qu'on veut faire, qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire, qu'est-ce qu'on a envie d'apporter aux joueurs avec peut-être un nouveau gameplay, des choses qui sortent un peu de l'ordinaire. On veut vraiment une nouveauté en fait.
Initialement, toutes les classes étaient reliées à un des dieux de l'univers. Maintenant, on commence à aller dans une nouvelle façon de créer des classes, pas forcément connecter un dieu, et ça va être le cas de la classe Bellaphone, puisque elle est connectée aux dragons primordiaux. Ça va se voir sur leur apparence physique, puisqu'elles seront accompagnées d'un petit dragon spectral, une sorte d'émanation spirituelle du dragon qui est tutélaire. Sans vouloir vous dévoiler ce qui va se passer ensuite, ce ne sera pas juste décoratif.
Pour le moment, on en est forcément à la phase de réflexion et d'essai. On imagine tout un tas de choses qu'on aimerait voir apparaître en jeu. On partage tous ensemble pour proposer le meilleur contenu possible, comme toujours.
On ne peut pas tout vous révéler pour l'instant, il faut en garder un petit peu pour la fin d'année qui promet d'être exceptionnelle.
And here it is, the big announcement. There was a brand new class, which I was actually quite... we've known for a while, obviously, because we've been working inside Ankama. But like the fact that it didn't leak, the fact that nobody was aware of it until Japan Expo, that's a success for me.
Yeah, the only time that this got leaked, well. In reality, we've known like in live 4 months ago, I believe, with the sound designers that there is quite a mini leak.
He made a small slip.
Slight
because he mentioned that he was working on the sound design for all 20 classes, which, you know.
Yeah. That was so weird because I was at the stream management at this time and I was like he said 20 and I was like,
oh shit.
Huh?
Oh
what?
No.
20? Like Rebecca and I had to come up with this excuse that the 20th class was the like just the ID on the website, and it's true in the website
Common class
fraudulence
spells.
is the 20th ID because like the 19th or the first, I don't know, is the common class, for the common spells. And we were like, I was like in the chat, no guys, it's at 20 because it's a 20th ID. Like it was, and Rebecca said,
I'm sorry. We had to lie to you just
we had to lie.
for the suspense, but that was worth it. The Battlefront looks great. It's also on 3 games at once, including on WAKFU for the first time. Like first time a new class has been added in quite a while.
Yes, the last one was the Ujinak in, I don't know, 2018 maybe?
Yeah, something like this. So yeah, quite a long time. And also on DOFUS Touch. So like that's gonna be quite exciting to see in the next coming months how it will develop. You've been working on them?
Can I even say?
Okay, I don't know, but okay. But there was like, have you worked? We can't leak anything, obviously.
No, of course.
But
The production has started. Yes, but I can't say anything.
All right, we'll keep the mystery then. But back to Japan Expo then too. You were there. You were there for the entire event.
Yeah, it was quite amazing. I had my whole thing. Who can I say? I can't English it.
He cannot English
either.
The English has left his body.
I got my own place with an Ankama Live set. I have my own regie. I don't know how to say in English either.
Your backstage.
I have my own backstages, and I had my own stage with 4 days of 8 hours lives. That was quite. It was quite a lot.
Intense.
It was quite intense. There was a lot to do, but I will always be surprised as how much the staff is quite amazing, quite energetic. They like in the end of the day. We've got like for the live at 4 p.m. like a staff that had to work for 9 hours straight with maybe 1 hour of pause, and they still have to do a 2-hour live. And I'm always like, guys, you just rock. You guys are just amazing.
It was amazing. We were getting as much energy back from the fans as the energy we were expending on the space. Like the fans were being amazing because this is one of the rare occasions where we can like meet the fans, discuss with them, have fun with them, and they just this fills our battery back up for the rest of the year. Honestly, like this is the moments of connection.
Yeah, I was quite exhausted when I came back, but I had this energy, you know, like I'm fulfilled, man. Even
it was amazing, and it was also like a big convention because it was a 25th anniversary. We had the entire hall of the because it was also during Japan Expo, which is one of the biggest anime cons, if not the biggest anime convention in France. And we were just taking a part of that to do our own convention.
Yeah,
with DOFUS and goodies.
I have just one frustration is that I'm so frustrated that I had no time to do anything else than the Ankama convention. Like I'm supposed to have 1 hour to eat and do other stuffs. I just have 20 minutes because I can't do anything else. Like the midday stream ends. I have to prepare for the other stream. And then I have to leave to eat, and then I have to come back to prepare with the person that is going to live. So I have no time to do anything else. I can't even go to the shop. I didn't go to the shop.
The shop was there. The shop was like 4 times as big as it used to be.
I couldn't even go out there. I couldn't even go to the manga shop too. That we had a place to sell mangas. Specifically, and there was so much to take. There's so much things I could buy. I believe there's the third Waven book that was released, and I have to buy it because Waven is really cool. And there's some other stuff, and even other stands in Japan Expo I couldn't even go. or even scenes. I couldn't do scenes. I know that there's the two first episodes of Welsh Cheddar that was broadcasted in Japan Expo. It was exclusive to the scene. You can't even see it anywhere else. Well, I can see it if I wanted to, but it's not the same
It's
spark.
not the same.
It's not the same thing. So I keep myself from watching those, and I couldn't even see those. It's quite a show. Even the concerts.
Yes.
Even the concerts on Saturday.
Yes, there was an entire orchestra there.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
was...
And well, I could have got there, but like with 12-hour on the date work, install everything, do the actual work, and prepare for the next day. It's just not possible to go to a concert after that.
There were so many things to do with all the games had like special fights or special demos that you could play. You could play the new upcoming game Tauros. There was a demo for it. Yes. And then you also had you could play DOFUS Touch, Retro, WAKFU, WAVEN. WAVEN was there as well a long time after the rework. So yeah, it was big. It was a thing, and everyone came back from the event being completely exhausted, also really smiling. So, and shout out to the event team, which not only had to support all of us during this event, but had to be there to build it and then to be there to unbuild it at the end.
Yeah, they are quite amazing. Really, the Brickle Boys, we like to call them, or the events team, are really... they're just amazing guys.
They do so
they
much.
to do so much work, especially this year because there's the Ankama convention at Japan Expo, but there's also the Annecy Festival, where we have this enormous stands, enormous building with the whole Ankama story out there that they had to build too. Yeah, and there's so much other stuff. Like there's the ONL concert that's going at the end of the year.
Yes.
I believe they have to work for some stuff too. I don't want to say stuff that I'm not supposed to tell, but there's so much thing that's going on this year, and yeah, really they're just quite amazing.
That was quite amazing, and we enjoyed it every second of it. It's not over. We're going to be more events during until the end of the years. Anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, because we still have some time, this is the Ochre season, and the theme of this the season is legacy, remembrance, and memories. Yeah. And I think we all have memories linked to the game, although either memories as players or memories as people working at Ankama. So I think we should tell each other a few stories if we have.
Sure.
You know what? To take a page from the stream we did in French, we should tell each other a story, and the other two has to guess if this was a true or a false story, because there was some outrageous lies that were told, but also some amazing ones.
Some true stories.
Yeah, and also some true stories. So
and some way too awkward true stories.
Yes, there was some great stuff. So anyway, who wants to start?
Before that,
yes,
I just want to know, Sharon, how did you? What's your first experience with Ankama and the Cosmos?
With any game?
Yeah, with any. The first time that you heard from Ankama, and I was like, I want to play some more of this.
So I don't have some precise memory. It's a long time ago, maybe. So it was before DOFUS 2.
Okay.
So I think I did start in 2008.
Okay.
It was probably a friend that showed me the game. We used to play some MMO like Nostal or Dragonica, and so we also played Dofus, and I quite liked the game. When I was a child, I never was like a hardcore player. I did not even have a subscription.
So it was at that time where G Potatoes had 3 or 4 MMOs, different MMOs, and had Dragonica and stuff. Okay, I see this kind of time.
I did not watch the WAKFU anime when I was a child, so I did not watch a lot of cartoons, but for some reason I never watched any episode of WAKFU. I only watched them when I joined Ankama as a staff.
Okay, that's you're fine. You're fine.
So for knowledge. So
And even mangas, you didn't read
No,
like the DOFUS manga or the WAKFU manga?
no, I was not very a huge fan. Like it was not like I did not like Ankama, but just it was one thing amongst other.
Okay.
But
Fair
I played the Dofus and Dofus.
DOFUS.
Dofus, like a few times here and there. But
Okay. Cool. Fair.
Wonderful. All right, so who's going to tell a story?
Okay.
Also, people in the chat, we enjoy your stories as well. If you have like stories of seasons past and how you met the game, or you have like something really funny about the game or something like this, please tell us in the chat. We'll absolutely read them. It will be really fun. If you want, okay, I'll give you an anecdote, and you have to tell me if it's true or false. All right. So when I started at Ankama, I was working for Crossmaster, the miniature game that was available at the time, and maybe if you don't know, but in Crossmaster, the team was made of 12 points of character, and you build your team with a budget of 12 points. At the time, there was a discussion to increase that limit to 18 points.
Okay.
In order to make bigger teams, give you more options to get bigger characters and stuff like that. Unfortunately, some people were very against this. Because they said it could unbalance the game, not knowing that it was more rules change that were coming. So at the first Japan Expo that I did as a staffer from Ankama, at the end of it, someone quote unquote kidnapped me, just brought me to a table where there was a Crossmaster map, and it was okay, sit down here, and he played for me the first turn of what an 18-point games could be, which was okay, by the end of the first turn, I can't do anything because he had filled the map with summons and stuff like that. And it was and he was looking me straight in the eye and say, "This is why you don't make the rules 18 points instead of 12." You look shocked.
I can see someone doing this to pass the message, to send the message. I do think it's true.
What do you think? What do you think in the chat? Do you think it's the true or false story?
Okay. What do you think? Do you have stories too?
One say it's false.
Okay, someone met his girlfriend in WAKFU over 12 years ago,
Aww.
and they're still together. That's quite a wholesome
amazing.
story.
That's why the WAKFU is the best.
Oh, you even went to Japan Expo. Okay. This year? Okay, people say it's true.
Well, it was true, although I make it sound worse than it is. And I was not kidnapped. It was the end of the thing is it was the end of the event, and there was this guy who was really much into tournament scene. It was he was against it, and he wanted to show me an 18-point games is something that would make the tournament scene worse. So he really sat me in front of a game mat to show me what you could do with 18 points. The fact is, there was no real reason to be afraid because what he was pointed out were already rules that we were about to change that would not make it as bad as he sounds. In the end, we never did the 18 points. We stayed at 12 until the end of the game. But it's really weird. If it's your first event, and it was you sit down. I'm going to show you something. Okay. Am I free to go?
All right.
First started playing WAKFU.
Okay. I first started playing WAKFU because my best IRL friend invited me to try a new MMO adventure together. We spent around 8 hours in Astrub running around like complete noobs and trying to figure out the game. We both got hooked. He ended up buying a bunch of costumes, but eventually quit the game. Since then, I've been playing almost every day for the past 4 years. That's cool.
Wonderful.
That's pretty cool.
Wonderful. Nice. Wonderful.
Okay, I've got one too.
All right.
Back in 2008, I believe, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was already on Asamadas, and I was around the level 120. in these kinds of levels, there's one thing you had to do because everyone was doing it, and it was really long, really difficult, but you had to have it. It was when you had to craft your own Dorabora. And I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if the name is the same in English, but
It's a hat, right?
yeah, it's a hat. It's a blue hat that you have to craft with 5 traumatized coconuts. That was way too expensive and way too hard to drop back then, and a bunch of other stuff that was way too expensive. But yeah, I crafted my Dorabora with after 3 or 4 weeks of hard look. I did only that for like 3 or 4 weeks. When I got it, because I had it, I was so proud. I had my Dorabora. I've spent most of my time doing some XP and stuff. And even my friends were like, "Oh, that's so cool! You have the Dorabora. It's so high. I can't do that and stuff. I am way too lazy to do my Dorabora." Wait, well, that was the time. And then I knew I had to go to vacation for 2 weeks. And one of my guild member was like, "Well, you have a Dorabora. It's perfect in wisdom." So it was a way too cool Dorabora.
I can see where this is going.
Yeah, me too.
And for 2 weeks, please don't let it sleep in your inventory.
Oh my
Can
God,
you
no.
lend me the Dorabora? And I was like,
No.
okay, you're a good friend of mine. Like, we've spent weeks, even months playing together. I'm going to lend you my Dorabora for the 2 weeks.
I'm cringing so hard.
2 weeks after, I come back. I send him a message. He doesn't respond. He doesn't answer. I look at my friend list. He's not in my guild anymore. And there I knew I wouldn't see my Dorabora anymore.
No.
And I've kept sending him messages day after day. I kept sending him messages to him on Skype because we were on Skype back then.
Yeah.
And after a week or so of spamming him, he sent me a message. "I feel way too guilty. You can have your Dorabora back."
Oh my God.
And he gave it back to me.
You can have like he gave you a gift.
So our friendships survived.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
I got my Dorabora back. And
Please tell me this is true.
Like, the beginning is very, very realistic, but getting the item back, maybe
Nobody believes you. Nobody believes that there's still good in this world. Not anymore.
But I can see someone being guilty for
he was
stealing
one of my
an
close
item.
friends, like not IRL friend. He was my in-game friend, but he was really, really a good friend.
Oh my God. This is like looking like a train crash in slow motion. You know where this is going, but you can't stop looking. Oh my God. Okay. Apparently, people don't really trust you on this.
What about you? Do you trust me?
I mean, I think it's
I
true.
think-
I hope it's true.
It seems true enough.
What is true? The whole story is true. It's still no. It's not. We don't see each other anymore. But he's still one of my friends,
Okay.
and he gave me the Dorabora back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's all true.
Oh, there's something good and pure in this world still.
Yeah. I believe I cried when I realized he was scamming me back then.
Like not to get like not to be dramatic, but it's kind of like leaving your pet with someone else and again just like leave the country with your cat, something like that. That's it's just traumatic.
Yeah, he still stole me in the first place, right? It was really weird. I was so depressed. Like it was so much hard work to do my durable rights. It was way too expensive. I was so proud having it.
Great. Wow. Okay, that was a roller coaster of emotion. All right, Sharon.
So I
your
have
turn.
one. Yeah, it's quite a bit shorter, but like when WAKFU released, so WAKFU I think released in February of 2012, the official release.
Something like
And
this.
so I played in March, probably because I heard it was a new game from Ankama, and I don't really remember why, but I played, like I got up to maybe level 20.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I used to have a YouTube channel, like every teenager in 2010, everyone had a Minecraft YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember the exact details, but like I started a fight against like maybe gobbles or so low level monsters, and I recorded it, and like I succeeded the challenges in the fight, and I was so proud. So I uploaded the 3-minute fights against like gobbles with epic music on my YouTube channel, like so winning a challenge in WAKFU. But watching it back again a few years later, it was like very embarrassing to see.
Look,
and don't try to search for it.
if you cringe, it means that you've grown up as a person, Honestly, somebody go find this video.
Don't bother.
It's gone. It's lost media.
They're still on my YouTube channel, but they are all private.
Oh, okay. It's not quite lost media. I was about to send like some YouTubers doing like a full search with like shared Google Docs where people were like, we're trying to find it.
Hello, this is Feldup. And here's
We're
some
talking
lost
about
media
this.
video.
Look, there has been lost media searches for sillier things. So I actually believe this is to be absolutely true. What do you think, people on the chat?
In 2012, I was 12.
So that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
I was still not a child, but a teenager, a young teen.
If some people have issues with Twitch drops, be sure that you've linked your account with your Twitch account. If you don't see the gauge filling up, just means that there's something you didn't do. And please, we have FAQ.
Q&A.
We have a Q&A on the support website, the Ankama support website. Please check.
I think FAQ is also in English.
Yeah, maybe.
Frequently you ask questions.
Yeah.
Actually. Oh my God. We're too French. You can't recognize an English acronym anymore.
Yeah, because in French it's foire aux questions.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it
But
works in
maybe
both.
it was like English first.
And then
Yeah.
turn into French later.
Back created the...
Was the Gobble video playing Dofus? No, in
No,
WAKFU.
it was in WAKFU. So it was true. I did have a YouTube channel with a lot of Minecraft videos that are really not good. But I did upload, I think I may have uploaded another one, like maybe doing a dungeon or... But I played for 2 or 3 weeks and then I went back to Minecraft.
It was in what year?
2012.
2012.
Like 1 month after the game release.
I think the
Official
release
release.
was 2012 because the release of WAKFU
Yeah,
happened on February 29th on
Yes,
a
it
leap
was a-
year. So
29th of February 2012. That's
Yeah.
why,
so I always remember. So it's a leap year. It has to be 2012.
Did you use like fraps to record?
yes.
Unregistered Hypercam 2.
Like with 3 gigabytes per minute of recording.
Oh no!
Then uploading it all in Windows Movie Maker.
Oh.
Waiting like 8 hours so it can render.
I feel you. Okay, so there's someone says false, someone thinks true. What is it?
What is
No,
it?
it's true. It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
Sorry, all my videos are now in private, so
That makes sense.
you can't find. You can maybe find the YouTube channel, but I don't know.
I
Not Charon.
I like this
knows?
this story in chat. It was like, when I was new to WAKFU, asked Camas to a stranger, and he said, yeah, if you collect 1 million water buckets for me. I went to a well, only realized how bullshit it was when I had 20,000 buckets or something.
Yeah. So some people do do gather millions of water in WAKFU, and it's a real small way of making camas.
I mean, I
Like-
guess. But
Water wells are infinite, so people do get water, sell them 1 kama per water, and some people have can't be bothered to do it, so they buy the water, and I know it's a real way of making camas.
Yeah, you know that there's the same stuff in Dofus. Like there's some stuff that you can buy as a NPC at some price, but there's also people who buys those things at the NPC and sell them in the marketplace. A little more expensive, because they know that there's people that won't bother go to the NPC to buy that stuff.
do we have time for one more story? Because I have one.
Yeah. okay.
No.
No, no. Okay.
Yeah, it's
already
six,
close to
Ah,
7.
it's
Yeah.
7. Oh, yeah.
All right.
So, almost 7. Yeah, we have to, because there's the Portuguese live that's in 30 minutes. And
Oh,
there's
that's right. Yes, there's the Portuguese and the Spanish.
the Spanish ones that's
Okay.
going to be at 7 p.m. French
So-
time. Maybe one quick.
All right.
If you have one, yeah. let's
Okay,
go.
really quick. So that's the story how I was broke in Dofus. So at the time I was like, I think I had bought myself like a new set, and I had like 2,000 cameras left. Nothing, almost nothing. And I didn't know how to do. And the way I got myself out of poverty was at the troll fair, because at the time there was like something when you can you could fish for a duck.
Oh,
There was and the thing is, like, you have a 1 in a million chance to get like a golden rare duck, which at the time was like absolutely like expensive. I think still to this day was something like. But the thing is, like, I never got it. But the thing, you go to an NPC, you buy like 10 fishing rods, and then you speak to them, you buy 10 more, and it was like you had to buy them like by talking to them, and then you go to the fishing and you get random stuff. Some of the stuff was like worthless, but you could still set it back to the NPC, like, balloons and stuff like that. But surprisingly enough, it sometimes gave you seeds, various kind of seeds. And those seeds were worth more than it cost to play the game. So I would do, like, get you. I didn't have money for a zap at the time. So you just imagine me being at a troll fair, buying hundreds of fishing rods, fishing at this one mini game, hoping to get the familiar, which we never got, and then realize, okay, I out of fishing rod. Go back to Astrub, send to the NPC all the worthless item, put all the seeds and to sell. Wait for the things to sell, get the money, go back to the troll fair, buy foot, do it all over again. I think I did it for 1 week. By the end, I was like, I wouldn't say rich, but I was wealthy enough to continue playing the game as it was intended. Like, I could use the zaps, I could buy stuff again. That was my one way to get out of poverty in Dofus.
that's. I don't know if it's cool or insane, because you can just do battles, you can do a combat, and you get some canas.
Look, I really like the troll fair. I
feel you,
my
man.
first plush collection was all the plush you could get at the troll fair back in the days, which was like completely also a completely pointless endeavor because it costs you money and gives you nothing. But no, no, it's not fake. I assure you, this was what I did for like 1 week straight.
Yeah, I
on
can't play like
Dofus.
this.
pretty
It
cool.
was like, because one of my friends was like really great at like buying stuff for cheap and selling them for more expensive. Some of them were like already like Smith Mage, and they were all making shit ton of money, and I didn't. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna fish for the ducks.
I'm going to do money my way.
My way. It's like people, going to the arcade and play the coin pusher until they win the PS5 and sell it back on eBay.
Wow.
All right, that was it. Sorry, I had to tell the story. It was so stupid.
That's actually pretty cool. Pretty insane. Pretty
It
cool.
was, but I was
Crazy.
young and I was dumb. All right, I think unfortunately we're gonna have to stop the stream because we have the Portuguese and Spanish version coming in. So if you haven't received your Ochre token yet, please stay tuned. We will leave the stream running. After half an hour, you get the Twitch drops for the token. Also, don't forget there's this code right here on the top right. If you get that on the gift interface, you will get another Ochre token. Sharon, thank you for being here. It was really fun to have a little stream in English.
Very nice.
I hope everyone will have a great Ochre season. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy all the events. Enjoy all the gifts that we can get. I hope you enjoy being there, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
And play
Bye.
WAKFU.
Bye.
Bye.
Play WAKFU.
Play everything. Play Cross Mega.
Play everything.